So everything happened like 1 minute I'm boarding a bus, then the next I'm waking up in a tent. I'm riding downhill on a stranger's motorcycle. As far as my eyes can see, there's just pure greenery, but then there's nothing. The weather is so beautiful outside, but then it's raining, people are miserable, people are having headaches, some people are lacking oxygen, people are vomiting, it's all miserable, and then there's just pin drop silence. That's a journey, right? So the one thing that I've realized from being on this trek is that the journey is never straight. It has its turns and twists, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. So when I boarded this bus from Delhi to reach Roopkund Lake, which is 15,600 something feet up in the air, that's my ultimate destination. And to reach it, all I knew was that there was a path that I had to follow and nothing was gonna happen. I was wrong. So we start the trek. Me and 22 other people. All of these people had come from different parts of the world. Initially it was all fine because we were trekking on this well-built path. But the actual trekking begins when we get off from that well-built path. It's all going great until we had to go upwards. Now the climb begins. And it's not easy.
Some people would watch that whole ascent we have to do.
Now we are not surrounded by beautiful green scenery. We are surrounded by just huge rocks. Okay, so we have finally reached, and this is where we're gonna stay for this while. We are gonna start trekking again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. But something interesting happened after reaching there and being there for just like 15 minutes. All of us forgot about the pain and suffering that we went through just moments before. I don't know if it was the freshness in the air, the beautiful scenery that made us forget all about that. Tomorrow, the trek was going to be 12 kilometers. So the next morning, all of us geared up for our next campsite, which was 12 kilometers away and called as Ali Bugya. Now the scenery this time was quite different, and different in a good way actually. For some people it might have been beautiful, but for a filmmaker like me it was purely just cinematic. next 3 days, this cycle just repeated itself. We went from one campsite to another. By no means did it get any easier because we were climbing uphill, so the altitude were getting higher and higher. And because of that, there was loss of oxygen. That led to many people having headaches, many people feeling dizzy, some people were vomiting. And because of that, some people also descended back because their bodies simply couldn't take it anymore. That was their breaking point. So you might risk yourself from getting injured or possibly dying. But the scenery was motivating by itself, so we could push ourselves and could really go hard with it. So, after doing this for 3 days, we finally reached our final campsite, and the next morning we had to get ready at 2 a.m. to reach the Roopkund lake. Now, here is the problem. See, nature doesn't care about your plans, and that was evident in our case because it started raining at 11 p.m. and it rained throughout the night and until the morning 8 a.m. So our whole team got divided into two groups. First group didn't really care for the rain. They came here to summit on Roopkund Lake and nothing was gonna stop them. And then the other group was just totally opposite, and they just thought that it wasn't worth the risk. So I chose the second group. I can feel you probably judging me. By the way, why is that when these kind of things happen to you, your first instinct is to think about other people? What will they think of you? Log kya kahenge? Which I found that to be complete bullshit. For example, I thought that when all of those guys come from the summit, they would all be like, dude, you missed it, bro. You've traveled this far and you couldn't even go uphill just because of some rain. You had no guts, bro. Waste of everything that you ever did. Garbage. But nothing like that actually happened. All of those guys came from the summit, and when they came, we all just congratulated them on actually doing it, going up there and summiting. Courteously enough, those guys also thanked us and then just shared their experience with us. None of them made us feel like shit, which made me realize everybody is on their own journey and they are facing their own problems. But if I'm being honest, you know, there is that voice in your head going, साले तुझसे क्यों नहीं हुआ? इतने दूर आने के बाद में भी बस थोड़े से ऊपर और चढ़ाई करनी थी और तुझसे वो नहीं हुआ just because of some rain. जो लोग वहाँ ऊपर गए उन लोगों के लिए रेन नहीं थी, उनके लिए वेदर कंडीशन बड़ी सॉफ्ट थी, वो लोग करके आ गए, तू क्यों नहीं करके आया? So these thoughts went past, and one thought remained. Was the destination more important than the journey? Was all that experience that I had, all the suffering that we all went through, all the good times that we spent together, enjoying this beautiful scenery with these amazing people. Was that all for nothing? Was that destination more important than the journey?